We are so back, baby. Welcome back to another review here on Squatting Quads, and I have enjoyed my time away. Thank you everybody for the well wishes and the support whilst we've been away on a much needed break. Now we are going to start back with the LiHV BOLT X turnigy LiHV batteries from HobbyKing. I'm sure we all started with HobbyKing batteries back in the day. I know I did. Battery tech moved on from sort of the old turnigy days. HobbyKing have now updated their battery tech to these LiHVs, and I've got some incredible footage coming that's been provided by these batteries, and you're going to be quite surprised, to be honest. But the first things first is we are going to weigh them and compare them to other batteries. These are 4S LiHVs. This is a 750 mAh pack, and that's coming in at 80 grams. So I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll then compare it to the sub 250 720 mAh, which is 67 grams. The 660 mAh LiHV from GNB will come in at 64 grams. And the 850 from Dogcom comes in at 99 grams. So it is slightly heavier, and I think the reason why... How much heavier than that are we? So we are 13 grams heavier than the sub 250 one. I think the reason why is when we look at the difference in the battery cables, you can see that the turnigy ones are much, much longer. And they don't need to be for LiHV quads at 4S, should I say. Yeah, I don't think they need to be this long. I do prefer longer battery cables, but I don't think they need to be necessarily that long. I've also got an old... No, I'm not gonna compare that one because that was not even relevant. And then we've got the 550 mAh turnigy BOLT X, and we will compare that one, and that one comes in at 67 grams. And again, the reason why I think it's heavier is because we've got these much longer power cables and we've got these much longer balance cables. I think if you wanted to shorten them down, you would save quite a lot of weight. Does that extra weight cause a problem? Well, actually, I don't think it does when we look at some of the flights, and we'll look at some of the flights very shortly. But when we compare the flight times as to what we normally get, and some of these have been outstanding, to be honest with you. We're just going to put these together now for the sake of comparison. When it comes to size, we can move them down a little bit, actually. And I think the instant thing that you're going to notice before anything else is the difference in those cables. They are way, way longer than everything else, and that I think genuinely is what's causing the extra weight. And just looking at them, the sub 250 is... I'm just trying to see if it got a marking on it as to what AWG it is. It doesn't actually have a marking on. But the other thing you'll notice is that these are 14, these ones are 14 AWG, which are much thicker as well as much longer than the other packs on display. So again, that's going to cause extra weight and extra issues. But like I say, I think these batteries are actually really good. And I wanted to avoid getting into, you know, the whole sort of blowing it up, you know, saying it's amazing, it's this, it's that, and this is the other. And I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let the footage speak for itself. And I think the footage does speak for itself, if I'm totally honest with you. But yeah, that's a comparison of the weight. That's a comparison of the sizes. And like I say, we've also got thicker wires, which may actually help us get longer flight times. We'll find out shortly. That might be the reasons why. But who knows? If we even do get longer flight times, we're going to have to find out later on. Let's jump now to the first flight and see exactly how well these batteries cope. So flight number one then of the turnigy BOLT X LiHV. This is a 750 mAh pack, and we are chilling around an area in North Yorkshire called Robin Hood's Bay. This is known for its tranquil vibes, relaxed nature. The idea of this was I was going to chase a cruise ship that had just gone out to sea because of the tranquil nature of the area, of course. Unfortunately, I was being attacked by wasps. Long story short, I didn't do. So what I did is I flew it around for as long as I possibly could. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to let you enjoy the flight. On the left hand side, we have the current voltage and flight time. And then at the end, I won't show the whole flight off. I will just show the sort of the end details as to how many volts we've left once we landed. And I'll also put a note on at the end to let you know what the battery recovered to as well, because it's all well and good knowing what the landing voltage is. You can actually see where the boat had sailed there, look. It's all well and good knowing what the landing voltage is, but what you also want to know is exactly what it will recover to as well, because that is also quite important, because that shows you just how far you can push these. Realistically, you can probably push these to about 3.45. I wouldn't recommend it, but I abuse my batteries, so, you know, that's just what I do. Enjoy the flight, and I'll see you on the next one. Flight number 2, and we was flying with the 550 mAh ATC Lipo this time. And we are at a place called Scarborough Castle. Again, an English heritage site, this one. They love drones, so do let them know that you saw your boy here. I'm sure they would love to share this footage on their social medias. No, don't, whatever you do. English heritage are very, very anti-drone, but you'll notice that the castle was closed at the time. There is no specific SSSI here, apart from for the rock formation to the right as we're flying down now. So it's totally legal to fly over the top of the castle, even with birds on there. There wasn't actually nesting birds, it was just seagulls waiting to pounce. And we do have a bit of a dance with them later on in the video. We'll do a few dives and this, that and the other, as we just give a bit of an homage to the English heritage flag there. They're as bad as National Trust. You could argue sometimes a bit worse. Anyway, let's not get political. There is the bay that I was flying over on the first flight. We've moved to the other side. We've got full visual line of sight of the drone. We even have LEDs on this. This again is the Deepspace Seeker3, the drone that I have criticised pretty badly for its flight time and its efficiency in the past. Just goes to show you that actually put the right battery on and you've not really got as much of a problem. And you'll see that again at the end with the flight time. But I'm going to leave you to it now. Enjoy the dives, enjoy the flights, enjoy the tree surfing. This was a really fun one. I was going to go through that broken window, but I thought if it goes down, English Heritage will never give me back. And HobbyKing want a review of these batteries, so I thought I better not on this occasion, but next time, eh guys? Right, I'll see you on the next video. and we now go back to the 750 mark, again back over the ocean, back to the other side of the bay that you could see from the castle on the left hand side in the previous flight. And this is an early evening flight. Everywhere is pretty much closed down. We are going to go out a little bit to sea in a second, and we're going to have a look at a boat that's coming in. You can probably just see it there on our right hand side now, and that boat had been out in the evening looking for dolphins and whales. There'd been sightings all week of bottlenose dolphins and some type of whale. I don't know what type of whale it was. The RNLI live station was just to our right there. Again, this flight was really impressive because it was quite windy. It wasn't crazy windy, don't get me wrong, but there was enough of a breeze from the head to notice it. And we're flying into the wind now. We're going out to see that boat that had been looking at those dolphins. We'll give them a couple of passes. We'll give them a bit of a wave as we go past. We didn't get too close because, as you can see, there's quite a few seagulls still following the back of it. I assume it's a fishing vessel during the day, but in the evening they go out looking for whales, and we'd seen a few from the shoreline, so it's super impressive. Unfortunately, I didn't get any on the drone, but you know, again, maybe next time, who knows. I'll leave you with the rest of the flight, and then in a second I'll kick in and give my thoughts on whether or not you should consider buying these, and we'll talk about the price, and yeah, let's go. That then has been the BOLT LiHV review from HobbyKing, known as the BOLT X or turnigy BOLT X, depending however you want to say it, doesn't really matter. They are the new LiHVs from HobbyKing. Can I recommend these? Well, let's be completely honest. I flew out to sea a long way. Now, it is really important. I don't actually have it here, but the Deepspace Seeker3 did have super bright LEDs in order to keep me within VLOS on one of the flights, although I'm not going to show it for reasons that will become apparent in a second. I did have the police approach me towards the end of the flight, and the police lady said, "Is that your drone out there with the lights on it? I can see. Are you flying it?" I said, "Yeah, I am." I was wearing my goggles at the time. I had Boy Wonder FPV with me. And she said, "I need you to come back and land it as quick as you can and take the kids out of the area." So I was stood near a bridge, and there was a guy threatening to sort of jump off the bridge. So that's why. Now, the point being, the police officers saw the drone because of the LEDs, meaning the whole VLOS situation really is improved massively when you add these LEDs. I will leave a link to Fly High FPV. It's not an affiliate link or anything. But as you can see on the screen now, hopefully I'm using my new fandangled green screen, so hopefully I'll be able to sort of overlay myself onto the screen as I'm talking. We went quite a distance with this, and we stayed over the water for all of the flight, you know, heading towards sort of the 5-minute mark on such a small battery on the Deepspace Seeker3 as well, which was something I originally criticised as having not brilliant battery life. That isn't the case with these batteries, whether it's the thicker AWG that they use or the extra 30 milliamp hours. I don't know, but what I can say is they're brilliant. Now, they are a bit of a different shape than the other batteries. They're a bit longer, they're a bit less thick in certain areas, so make sure that they can fit your drone. I have included the dimensions to these on all of the sort of flight videos, because each one's obviously got a different dimension. I was sent these by HobbyKing, by the way. There is no talking points. They won't see this video before it goes out, and I'm not being paid a penny for this review. There is going to be a link down below. It is an affiliate link. It won't cost you any extra, but it will help the channel. If you decide to make a purchase of these and use that link, it will help support the channel further. Now, what I will say is I very rarely or I seldom talk about prices, because prices go up and prices go down, and I don't feel it's always fair to judge a product based upon its price for many different reasons. However, these are like 9-10 quid, like crazy prices. Would I have more of them? Absolutely. Would I pick them over anything else? I think for the weight if it's going to be sub 249 grams, or if I can make it into a build that's sub 249 grams, then yeah, I would always pick them. I would probably, as one sort of improvement, just cut that XT30 cable down and make it a lot smaller, just to save a little bit of weight, and it doesn't need to be that long on all of my quads anyway. If you've got any questions whatsoever, please do drop them in the comments down below. But until next time, peace out.